Good to go? All right, we'll take over. Welcome everybody to our virtual record board meeting of the Melville Northern School Board, Monday, November 9th, 2020. At this time, we'll take roll call. Matt?
Thank you, Jim. Stephen Gunther?
Present from the basement.
Jim Barry?
Present from home.
Malik Safe?
He was there.
All right. Malik Safe? All right. Absent at the moment. Matt Rader, home, living room. Alex Antosky?
Present, home.
Amber Cochran?
Present from home.
Mike Colmorgan?
Present from home.
Malik Safe again. All right, we'll just call him absent right now. We have a quorum. Jim.
All right, thank you, sir. At this time, we need a motion to approve the agenda. We have some amendments. Did you guys get them today at all?
Yep, got him, Jim.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with said amendment.
Okay, do I have a support? Support by Mike. Okay, do I have to read the amendments? You guys see it all right? There are amendments?
Yep, no, all right, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion with and a support with the amendments. Any additions, Kim? Is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay, roll call, Matt.
Stephen Gunther?
Yes.
Jim Barry?
Yes.
Malik Safe? Oh, Malik texted me saying he said yes 3 times, but we don't hear you, Malik. Okay. Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky?
Yes.
Amber Cochran?
Yes.
And Mike Colmorgan?
Yes.
It passes, Jim.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to administrative reports. And let's see. What we got here. Najwa, are you filled in today?
Nope, it's me, Jim. Shannon.
Okay, I didn't see it there, Shannon. Okay, go
Shannon,
ahead.
sorry.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Good to see all of you. Even in a virtual world, it's so good to see your faces. We've had a lot of PD over the last month since we have met. We've had John Collins writing training for our new teachers. Terry Zielinski has come in and done math training with all grades. And Ellen Vorenkamp has come in, and Ellen from RISA, and she's working with aligned curriculum and assessment with all of our grades. We've had 2 fire drills that have been successful, very quick, getting anybody that's been in the building out of the building and back in really quickly. And that's about it. We're humming away.
Okay, anybody got any questions? Very none. I'll continue on. Let's see here. We got, let's see, Lisa.
Sure. Hi, everyone. We closed out our fundraiser the other day, our online fundraiser, and as of the other day, we had 6,000 in sales. So not bad for an online fundraiser. We get 40% of that. I've started observing my teachers. It's been amazing. I've been watching what the students are learning, seeing the amazing ways that teachers are engaging them, seeing all the first graders and getting to meet the kindergartners because I really haven't met them. Like Shannon said, we've had a lot of PD. We had PD with Michael Taylor last Thursday, and the teachers have already started using the literacy footprints, which are all the online level tutors with their kids. So they're really liking that. We hired a new MTSS teacher, so she should probably be on the agenda for next board meeting because we just hired her on Thursday. The Allen Park Presbyterian Church reached out to us again, And they are going to be offering Christmas help again this year. And that's it.
Real good. Anybody have questions of Lisa at this time? Hearing none. Don, you want to go?
Sure. As many of you know, Ariel Arginello is working on her administrative degree, and she needs to perform some administrative duties for her internship. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to Ariel, and she can give Strong's administrative report.
Thank you guys so much for listening to me and letting me join into this. I really, really appreciate it. So the first thing I want to say is I want to talk about our attendance. So our attendance is about 90% between the 3 grade levels, which is great because the last time I was here, we were around that same number. So that means we're staying consistent. We're still having our students come on, log in, and be with us every single day. So that's awesome. Our PBIS, our advisory team, and our Student of the Month team have kind of formed this large coalition. We're all kind of working collaboratively to support our students. So we had our last month, we had our PBIS event, which was a success. We were able to get all of our students online participating, and then our students who needed some extra interventions were able to go off and work with other staff members to focus on their grades, get things turned in. So that was a really big success. This week in our advisory, we're working on student social emotional health. So this whole week is on mental health and mental health awareness to give them that extra boost and support. And I actually have some pictures to share with you of our Student of the Month winners, which I'll just post in the chat. You guys can check that out whenever you want. Parent-teacher conferences are this week, and Mr. Valag, Chris Valag, is on here as well. He has been so integral in helping to make that work and run smoothly. So on our school website, all of the links are posted for staff members. You can go on and click and sign up that way. So we've got a lot of parents signing up and getting ready for conferences. And I think that's the majority of it.
Well, great job. Great job. Any questions for Don?
Great job.
Go ahead. No questions? Oh, good job, Lisa. Okay, Trevor, you're doing today, right, Trevor?
Yes, yeah.
All right.
Hi, everybody. There's not a lot coming from the high school. We did want to let everybody know that we're heavy into our Learning to Fly MTSS program. We've redeployed our support teachers. So they're working with students who are failing or otherwise at risk for one reason or another. So our support teachers are heading up, making phone calls, taking meetings, doing tutoring, doing counseling. It kind of started with our support teachers back when COVID just started, and the support teachers all decided they really liked having that role. So we like having them in that role as well. So we're excited about our Learning to Fly this year. Also, we gave the SAT test and the PSAT to 65 seniors, 20 sophomores and juniors, and 8 freshmen took either the PSAT or the SAT. Mr. Hanna, like always, did a great job organizing everybody into the gym. There were 2 different groups, well-distanced tables, 1 student per table this time instead of packing everybody into the gym. So we were able to get the students who were interested in taking those tests the opportunity to get those tests taken. And that's all I have, unless there are questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Is John on? John O'Neill on?
I'm here.
John, can you give us an update on our athletics, where we're at?
Well, we just concluded the fall season. So, as far as from a COVID perspective, we had a very good fall. I think we had a lot of concerns going into the fall about how it would be, especially with football. We were successful in terms of we didn't have any outbreaks. We had 1 student test positive at the end of the cross-country season. Then she subsequently tested negative twice. So just as a precaution, we did cancel the final cross-country meet. So, but other than that, the fall went well. We're starting our winter season very carefully. We're going through all these protocols. Kids are wearing masks 100% of the time. I mean, I've been working with each coach about all the different things that we can do. Been talking with Kim about what we can do as well. So, everybody is expecting that there could be interruptions in the season. Everybody is expecting that, we could see a case coming from the outside, but our hope is, just like the schools, nothing's going to happen because of what we're doing. And that's our game plan.
So we will be doing our fall sports then? Or what is it, fall sports, I guess?
Fall sports are over. We successfully completed the fall sports season.
Okay, so
We're-
basketball.
Now we're treading into winter very carefully.
Okay, real good. Any questions of John, board?
No, I have one for Trevor though. Is
Go
your
ahead.
attendance still around the 90% as well, like it was last month?
Yeah, it stayed steady. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but yeah, it's been steady.
Thank you.
Okay,
Trevor, those attendance records are posted up on the website anyways, aren't they? So Matt, we have them up on the website, the percentages district-wide.
Okay,
You have
thank
to
you.
do that.
okay, real good. Marty, you want Marty?
Yep, I'm here. Hello, everybody. Food service getting ready for winter distribution. So with the help of Alfie and her staff, we put up a tent out the exit at Allendale that goes into the bus yard, and it went up end of last week. So we hope to try it out this week and keep us warm because I feel like we're going to be handing out meals in the snow. So we're trying to get ahead of that. And other than that, I think we brought in, I don't have the numbers for October meals, but we brought in over $154,000 for the month of October in reimbursement. So I think
Wow.
we're keeping our funds up. That's about it.
So how many's been showing up, Marty?
It varies anywhere from, our number, I always shoot for 800. We might go over, but then last week we were at 650. And I don't know if it was the warm weather or what, but I always shoot for 800 because you just never know who's going to come.
Right. All right. Thanks. Anybody got questions on Marty? Great job, Marty. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Let's see. Alfie? You there, Elf?
Yes, I am. Good evening, Mr. Barry. How are you?
Good.
As you can see on the agenda, unfortunately, I have to ask for some money. Marty's bringing it in, I'm spending it, so that's usual. I'm going to ask the board for an amount of $15,450 to upgrade our system to a full customized web access point system and temperature controls in the 3D floor layout with the customized scheduling for the high school that would regulate the heating and cooling temperatures at the high school, which we currently do not have. We haven't had that system working for the last year and a half, and we didn't update that because we thought we were going to move. So now we are at the point where we need to update that to get our boilers running and make sure that we get everything situated. So I was getting bids in. Expert Mechanical, of course, our in-house heating and cooling system came in with the lowest bid. So they know the system. They've been working on it. They're the ones that got the bid for the boilers also. And this is who I would like to hire and give them award them the job to do that. Other than that, still got bus runs going. We're transporting students to Wyandotte, Trenton, Lincoln Park, and picking up our own students on a daily basis. So that's all I got for right now.
Anybody?
Through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Alfie, at what school are we doing boiler work at? Strong or the high school?
Actually, we got the brand new boilers at the high school. Well, I shouldn't say brand new, they're a couple years old, but this is for the high school. That's the web base there. And then I'm going to fan that out to Allendale, which has a system also, but it's not the most up-to-date system, and it's a little bit complicated and it likes to shut down. So we've been in contact with Austin Expert Mechanical to make sure that that system that we're looking at will interact with the system and the IP address or whatever else I need for the technology system, which I'm not really good at. So Austin is amazing, and he's been helping us on that point. So we're starting at the high school, bringing it over to Allendale to the early elementaries, and then we're gonna take it over to Strong. Strong has a little bit of an older system there. It's the McQuaid, but we should be able to integrate that with the new system, that the Vicon system that I'm looking at. So yes, and I should have that done hopefully within the next several months coming up while there's
Okay.
nobody really in the buildings.
Okay, so basically it's just upgrading the system to
Correct.
to work electronically. We're not putting new boilers in or anything like
No,
that.
sir. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
okay.
We're just upgrading it so we can see what the temperatures are each in individual classrooms, so we can control the intake and outtake air that's coming in, which we currently are not doing. We're manually going into the classrooms and adjusting them.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Alex?
Nope.
Anybody else?
Alfie?
Yes, Matt.
Alfie, would you be able to do this remotely?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Anything else, Alfie? Alfie, anything else?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, we'll
Yeah.
continue on. Mike, you're up. Finance Director, you're up.
All right, so we got all of our hazard stuff out. I think we got it out. We put a Google Docs out there to add an additional layer in there to for the teachers to certify what they did and why they're deserving of the additional money. It's been a kind of a long process in terms of getting questions answered from the state on this. It's still kind of open to your own interpretation on some employees. We're still asking about secretaries at central office. Seems like the building secretaries are good to go. We got bus drivers and the maintenance staff are on as support staff to collect an additional hazard pay as well. That does come from the state of Michigan. It's not paid out by the district, but it is subject to audit by the state of Michigan. So we got to make sure we got our ducks in a row for that. And outside of that, we're starting to look into the budget process and get an amended budget out.
Anything else, Mike?
Nope, that's it.
Any questions of Mike? Okay.
Can
Rick,
I
did you want to say
interject
something?
quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Mike has been with us just a short time, and I want to thank him for his organizational skills. He's put well, not simple for me, but simple for him, like data sheets together that can be updated just like at the snap of a finger, so that the rest of the staff who needs that information, like immediately for grants and things like that, it's available to us, where in the past we had to wait, it's November, we had to wait 4 or 5 months for it. So I can't thank him enough for just those few little things that's putting an ease on my staff at central office. And I'm sure that they can attest to that for you. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, anybody got questions of Mike at this time? Rick, Michael Kilborn, you got something? Go ahead, buddy.
What did you call me?
Michael Kilmore again.
Yeah.
Your name's up there.
Cole Morgan.
Cole Morgan. Go ahead.
But I did have a question because he was talking about the hazard pay. Is there a qualification for that? Is everybody qualified for that?
Yeah, they have to, all students or all teachers and support staff have to certify. There's 3 different bullet points that they have to certify that they meet the requirements. We did have them actually write a paragraph on exactly what they did. There's one requirement that's kind of the main one. It says you worked in a hazardous condition or you incurred extra time outside of your normal working hours, or you incurred additional costs that you would not have occurred if it was not online schooling. So
And was that for all of our staff?
it was for teachers and support staff.
I think, Mike, what you're asking is, and I asked the same question when it comes to all the staff, it was available to the teachers and the support staff, so I checked in to see if maintenance would and bus drivers would benefit from this. So it was, when we were reading through it, it was above and beyond what they got their regular hours or their hours paid for. So if they worked anything outside their work, so if they did their 8-hour maintenance, but then came in and did distribution of computers, or came in and did boiler checks, or came in and helped with delivering some of the books or something to the students, that part you have to qualify what else you did besides your regular work. So if they fill out that paperwork and it shows that they did above and beyond of their, there was a specific phrase for that. I think Mike can attest to that, what the whole comment was. So not everybody would qualify for that, because not everybody came in above their 8 hours of pay, or their 7 hours of pay, or 6 hours of pay, because you do get audited and you have to show what you did. I think, does that answer your question?
Yes, actually, it does. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Rick, did you want to say anything with special ed?
Yeah.
Special needs?
Yes, I can. Good evening, everybody. Our COVID-19 mental health screener for the district is nearly completed. The vast majority of students have already taken the screener, and we have processed the results of that, and the social workers are making their follow-up contact, not just the social workers, also the counselors and the certain MTSS behavioral people. Our MTSS manual district-wide for the English language learning services and academic interventions and behavioral interventions that we completed last year will be up on our website shortly, or soon, not shortly. And I invite everyone to take a look at that. And it's basically a transparent document and how we move from tier 1 services to tier 2 services to tier 3 in the 3 main areas in which we offer extra support: academics, behavior, and then English as a second language. And then that's really about it. SSTs, IEPs, child find, everything is progressing as it was pre-pandemic, as I said last time. And I just wanted to just give a big thank you to all the teachers and the related service providers in the English language learning program and in special ed that have been doing the face-to-face services since September. I can't thank them enough for their efforts.
Real good. Anybody got questions of Rick at this time? Speaking of that, let's go.
Yes, I have a question, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead, Malik.
How you doing, Dr. Lucido?
Very good, Mr. Safe.
Good. Quick question. With Strong being closed currently, how are we serving? How are we servicing the Act 18 students?
Well, the IEP hours and the basic plan for service was all online. The coming in for that hour to get support was supplementary towards that.
Okay, so basically that supplementary hour will go back to virtual?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Holly, you're next.
Hello, everyone. As you can imagine, we've been very, very diligent with trying to contain and keep COVID out of our schools and community. With the recent rise, I'm all about numbers and wanting to understand everything that I'm helping to make these very, very important decisions regarding all of our health. So one thing that I did was, as I'm sure all of you know, if you watch the news or read the paper or pick up your iPhone, for goodness sakes, you see this incredible surge in the numbers. So I started digging to find out, okay, well, are we testing more? because that makes sense. When COVID first hit, you needed a doctor's order. We couldn't find any tests, in fact, because they were just creating them. And so I went back over and I started in the month of July, and then I went through now. And I just grabbed a few stats just to wrap my head around, is the numbers really increasing exponentially like is being reported? So I just wanted to share a couple numbers with you. I'll just go as recent as September 9th. So on September 9th, there was 33,200 tests with 781 positive. Okay. And then on 10/2, there was 40,386 with 919. So that at that point, we're at about a 22%. But then on 11/8, we tested 47,000 and we came up with 2,200 positive. So we've gone from about 10% to 22% and now like 50%. So that secured to me, not necessarily that we're just testing more to find these positive cases, but indeed the numbers have exponentially shot up. So then I went digging into our local hospitals. As you know, that was my background. And I'm looking at the beds. I'm looking at the amount of beds, because certainly if anybody falls ill in our community, our schools, they have to be taken care of. And I can tell you that right now, Beaumont, Henry Ford, and DMC, which are our three biggest hospitals in our area, they're all at about 80%. And then I'm looking at the ICU beds, and all of them can house as a whole about 620. And they got about 100 beds available between the three, which isn't so many. I mean, when you think about it in perspective of three major hospital systems. So needless to say that we need to be concerned is an understatement. These numbers are true, and they're extremely volatile for our community. So the last few weeks, I was able to partner with Western Wayne Family Health. They came in and they did COVID testing as well as gave flu vaccines. We offered that to our community. We had some really great results. The 2 different days they were there, between COVID testing and flu vaccines, each day in combination, we were over 100. So in some capacity from our community, and in close proximity, we service like 200 people, which is really, really awesome. And then now looking at our schools, right? So there have been a few cases. They did not originate in the school. They came from the outside, but they did come in. And the difficult part is now with everything opening up, as a board and as leadership, we have the tools. We have the tools to keep our staff safe. But unfortunately, I think that as things start opening and people get more laxed, when COVID comes into the school, the difference between being in contact with somebody and getting exposed are exponentially different. And when we lower our standards, that's what happens. So I can say that we haven't had COVID in our schools that's spread in the schools, but it is coming in. And with the numbers on the outside, I don't see that it's going to go down in the near future. So with that being said, I was able to, and I'm really, really excited, especially going into the holiday season, I was able to collaborate with a friend of mine that's a physician. So he's a physician. He has a physician office, and then he's also the CEO of a lab. So there's two problems when we have someone that is exposed or in contact with someone with COVID. And we know right now we have very few in school, but the day is going to come when we're going to have a lot in school. So amping up to make sure that if somebody is in contact or is, God forbid, exposed, we're able to make sure that we can refer them to someplace where they can get tested, where they're tested properly, and where we can get a good turnaround. So I was very excited when I found out, and in fact, I just met with them today, and they are going to give me privileges. So if we have a staff member, certainly they can go to their doctor, they can go to a clinic, wherever they choose. This isn't something that we're requiring of them, but it's a resource. So if someone gets exposed to COVID, they can call me and I will put in an order for a COVID test, and they can either go to the physician's office and I would set them up with an appointment, or we're working towards finding a spot, a closet with some ventilation where I would be able to do the testing. So there's a lot of good things happening, but with the good things, there's a lot of reason for concern right now.
Good.
So,
Holly. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, with that being said, Holly, Jim and I had several conversations today in response to what is happening in the buildings. And as you know, last week we took out Strong because there were too many staff members that had either been exposed to it or had it, that they had gotten it from outside sources. Not just teachers, but maintenance. Don was exposed to it. So we called, I called it for that after consulting with Jim and Holly. And then my intent was really to try to hold off until after Thanksgiving for everyone because of the holidays, and knowing that people were going to be together and the numbers were growing, but knowing that families were going to be together. So I wanted to hold off until at least after Thanksgiving, and then beginning in December, have the teachers teach from home and go on an adjusted schedule for the rest of the staff for the month of December up until Christmas vacation was over. But we've had more cases since then. Another person tested positive at Allendale. My concern with all of this has been right along that, and Holly and I have talked an enormous amount about this, is that it's more dangerous to go to Target than it is to come to work. And we still have people going everywhere and bringing it into the schools. So Holly alluded to the fact that we have everything to keep our staff safe, but they're choosing to eat together in small groups. And I think we need to take a break and readjust so that we're away from each other and away from, the need to meet as groups. We all have that need. It's killing me. I'm a hugger. I want to hug people. But we can't do that. We have to all stay safe, and we have to be cognizant of each other and keeping each other safe. So with that being said, what we'd like to do is, as of Wednesday, go out and have the teachers teach from home, have an adjusted schedule. I've already talked to Elfie, and I've not talked to Marty yet, but I've talked to Rick and my department heads. And look at it potentially for December as well. But if the numbers decrease around us by December, then we'll go back to what we were doing right now. But if the numbers stay the same, then we'll extend it till after Christmas break. And the reason is a lot of people are going to be around family for Christmas or for the holidays or because they're off. And we want to make sure that, we give them time to quarantine after that. So, but we have to make that decision of at least knowing what we're going to do, because December 6th, I have to put in a plan for the month of December by December 6th. So that's why if we decide now, we're going to go off until November 30th and then reevaluate November 30th. And the plan would be to stay off until we return from school, which I think is like January 5th or 6th or something like that.
Okay, has the board got any questions on that?
Yeah, through the chair.
Go ahead.
So Kim, so the plan is starting this coming Wednesday, November 11th, to go completely remote, and then as of November 30th to reevaluate whether to bring the staff back in December. I guess what's the comeback date for in person?
It would be that Tuesday.
Of the week of the 30th?
November 31st. Yeah. So it would be like that Thursday and then that Tuesday. Yeah. But I really have to be honest with you. I think that people are going to be together. They're going to get COVID, and we're going to end up having to stay out through December. That's just the way I feel.
Well, I guess
based on what's been happening.
Yep. And I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make with, Thanksgiving is the last day of, or the last week of the month. I don't think it's, I can't, that's not enough time for, the 2-week incubation period or whatever for this thing. And I can't, I don't foresee people taking the precautions necessary over the Thanksgiving holiday. So I don't see in any way, shape, or form it being safe to come back the week after Thanksgiving. I think we should stay out until after New Year, to be honest. So
that was part of my discussion too, but I couldn't make that decision. It's the board decision. So Alex, was you done?
Yeah, no, that's my opinion. We should be staying off till after New Year.
Okay, Mike, Matter. Matt.
Yep. Hi, I'm Matter today. No, I agree. If we already have issues in the school district now, with family, Friendsgiving, not just family Thanksgiving, Friendsgivings are coming up as well, right? Where all the friends get together and have Thanksgiving. Family reunions happen at this time of the year. I know my personal Maltese one has been canceled because we have a lot of people coming from different states and also Canada, and our family in Canada won't be able to make it this year. So ours was canceled. But from a loved one and hanging out with loved ones who are obviously up in age, it would be a devastation to know that one of the younger generation kids brought in COVID and potentially could kill your great aunt or great grandma. So that's the way you have to look at this. And Thanksgiving being so close to the time of return, I don't think that you would even know if you had COVID or not, especially if you had an event on Saturday, you come back on Tuesday, you might just be brewing the COVID inside your body. And then come Thursday, you test positive, right? So you were in the building for Tuesday and Wednesday, and who knows else who could get it. So I'm in favor of, since we're already going out, to go out till the end of the year and come back in January.
Malik?
I can tell you that was a real discussion with Kim and
I'll wait till
Jim.
she finishes.
Is that COVID was making it into the building, and we haven't even we haven't even gone into the holiday yet. And so that was our biggest concern.
We're good. Malik?
Yeah, I think this question's for Holly, I believe. How you doing, Holly? This is Malik. The question is, how often are we updating our website in regards to the numbers of COVID that we're having? Because I think the last time we updated it was October 15, as far as how many positive cases we had in Strong or Allendale.
It's been updated since then. I can tell you that I reached out to the health department because there was some question as to the transparency of reporting.
Right.
I called 3 times. I'm awaiting another call because I want to make sure that what we're reporting on there is what we're supposed to be reporting. So the question is, if our children are remote learners, and we hear of a confirmed case that of a child that's in our district, do we report that? Or are we reporting cases that make it into our building? Or are we reporting cases that are
Right. So yeah, I see like basically the
positive
way
cases
it's
that
listed
happen
is,
in the building?
yeah.
And
So the way I think the way it's listed on the website is kind of like the staff, like the building staff are affected. I don't know if you guys would start a new category, like you said, for the students. I'm not sure about that.
Well, so I can tell you what other districts are doing is it'll have like student/staff, and then it's listed per building. So the most recent numbers that were on there, those were, in the building staff. Last week, we ended up having 2 more staff in the building staff. So those numbers would change, but I didn't change them until I heard back from the health department for clarification. And quite honestly, they couldn't really answer that for me. So that's the formula that I'm going to go with. If it enters the building, then that's what we're going to put on there.
So when I meet with the health department every other week at the superintendent's meetings, it's very clear and very evident that they only want the numbers, and I don't believe in this because I don't believe that it's transparent, but they only want the numbers that are inside cases where the person got COVID internally. The people who bring it from the outside, they are not counted on our website. They are counted in the number that comes out for the city and the county that comes out from the health department. We were told adamantly, do not report outside cases. Holly and I have gone back and forth about this because neither one of us feel like it's transparent, but we have to follow what everyone else is doing.
So with that being said, technically our numbers would be 0, 0, 0, 0, because no one got COVID, right, from another staff member within our building. It all came from the outside. But again, we were trying to, and they couldn't answer that for me. So Malik, to answer your question, those were the 2 that entered the building. And so that's why that was reported.
Okay, thanks for answering the question, Holly.
Okay. Amber?
No, I mean, I pretty much reside with the rest of the board on the decision. I'm just worried if we consider coming back or not being remote after Thanksgiving. If you think about 14-day incubation period, you're looking December 15th. Even if we thought to bring people back into the building, the chance of exposure and then they go to their loved ones for Christmas and spread it even worse is something that I couldn't heart. So, I mean, as we move forward and look at the data, it's something we have to look at and take the right decision and make the right decision.
Okay. Mike? Was you done, Amber? I'm sorry. Was you done?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah, I don't think Malik actually answered the question, but again, I'm on board also. With the holidays and everything, I'm okay with just doing the remote learning. Everybody works from home. the most important thing I think is safety for all of our staff and our kids. There's no sense taking a chance if the online schooling is working right now at the best that it can possibly do. Then we probably should just stay out through the new year, like you said, because people are going to get together. That's just inevitable. And I don't want to take a chance of anybody bringing it into the schools and, getting everybody else sick. So I'm on board with the rest of the board that we stay out till the new year.
Real good. Stephen?
Can I add that we are keeping the buildings open for any staff that wants to work remotely from their classroom, just so you know that.
And of course, food service, because we're still going to be handing out meals.
Right, and secretaries and, there'll still be people who are reporting, but just not as often.
This practicing distant, go ahead, Mike.
What percentage do you think of the teachers are going to want to come in? And I understand why they might want to come in, because sometimes it's a lot easier to work at school because there's fewer distractions, and they can focus on their work more. But I'm just curious, how many do you think?
Well, I'm going to defer to Don. Don was the first one that had to make that decision, and he was adamant about making sure that his teachers would be able. What percentage, Don, do you think of your teachers are coming in?
Well, at this point, we just decided to do this at the end of the week. So I think today we had probably about 8 teachers show up. But as you guys know, we've had this. We've had teachers expected to be there 2 days a week, and support staff. But I will tell you, if they can do it at home, we allowing them to do it at home. But I know there are people that it's too much of a distraction for them at home, so we did open up the building for them to come in. So it's not mandated that they're home. So we've had probably about 10 staff members that have come in that did not have to today.
Okay.
And I would also, Holly had mentioned it earlier, as that, or Kim did, I don't know, but I just want to make it very clear that that's fine. They come into the building, but they shouldn't be getting together in small groups, having lunch, having meetings, that kind of thing.
No, I will tell you, it's strong. Like I was, as Kim said, we're playing it ultra safe, but technically, if you look at the guidelines, I was not technically exposed. I had a meeting with somebody who had it, but we both had masks on. So I don't know of a case that we haven't had our masks on when we're around each other, but generally the teachers come in and they work in their buildings, and we're trying to follow proper protocol, and it's for the safety of the staff. It's so prevalent right now in the community that, even today, I've had 2 teachers contact me that either their spouse or their child has it, that they've it's Holly's been great. Elfie's been great. So I think we've got a handle on it. And I will tell you, I had a lot of teachers reaching out to me, telling me how appreciative they are of our district for playing it safe. So I will just tell you, it's just so prevalent out there that every one of us has a story where we're close to being exposed if we're not exposed at this point.
And
Real
Mike,
good, Mike.
I can tell you too, Mike, that with the handful of teachers that may choose to come in, we're gonna have to really, really, just hammer home the reason why we have the guidelines in place, because there is no room for error. We don't wear our masks, or we don't social distance, or we hang out longer than we should, and it's the difference between being in contact with somebody where the numbers are so low versus being exposed, and the numbers go up exponentially, and then before we know it, it's like wildfire. So even those that come in from school, we're just gonna keep on preaching it, and making sure that everybody maintains safety so that we don't get positive outbreaks. Nobody contracts it in the school.
Real good, Mike?
Yeah, like I said, as long as we have those policies in place, everybody should be wearing a mask. They should be staying in their rooms by themselves. You know, if they have to come into the building to do some work, I understand. You know, like I said, it's I know it can be a distraction working from home, and there's going to be times they need to come in, but it should be on a limited basis. And like I said, with those protocols in place and that Holly's put out there, that I think will be okay. But all right.
All right. Stephen?
Yeah. So just to clarify, the discussion of not coming back and right after Thanksgiving is in regards to only staff coming back, all that, like putting the staff schedule back together, being a couple days a week mandatory, or it's staff and students?
Stephen, it would be staff and the first level bilingual and special ed students that are going right now. We're nowhere near
Right.
with the numbers. I don't expect to be anywhere near being even able to come back that way, even in a and I might get surprised and things might be different. But based on the way the numbers are going up right now and the holidays, yeah, I don't see us coming back in early January as a whole group, like with all the kids, or even like a hybrid,
Right. Okay, that answered that question. And then question real quick, well, maybe a couple of questions for Holly. I think you answered one of them. There's been no staff to staff transmission inside the buildings, right?
Correct.
Not at my school.
Correct.
Okay. And so then are we as a district, for the employees and staff, are we doing our own contact tracing, like within ourselves, to just pin down exactly where everything is coming from?
We are. So so when I first joined Malvindale in Northern Allen Park, I came up with 2 templates. So one is that we would send out if there was a case of COVID in your school. You were nowhere near it. You weren't even theoretically in contact. It was just in your school. There was that one template, and then there's another template where we would send it home if, say, a teacher or a student tested positive for COVID and your child was in that class. So your child was in contact and potentially exposed. So we have those 2 templates, and that is our requirement to send out in either of those cases. But what we've done as a district is when we've my phone lines have been open, literally. So the letters are there, but what I've done is if somebody has been in contact with someone from outside of the school and they've called me, I, along with, the leaders in the district, have done our due diligence. So, I find out, hey, when's the last time you've been in school? Do you have students? What did you do, while you were at school? And I've done my own tracing and notified those individuals. I've made, 11 o'clock p.m. phone calls. And so we've took it upon ourselves as a district to go above and beyond. And I can tell you, with those phone calls that we've had to make, none of those people have tested positive coming from, the inside out.
Okay. And then just the other thing, I was doing some work, like for my day job work for another district, and doing some research. And if we are going to be doing our own testing, like within the building, there's quite a bit of recommendation from ASHRAE that says if you're going to open schools and have a nursing office, to make sure that it's treated like a hospital and maintain negative pressurization. So just as a caution moving forward, if we're going to be doing that inside the building, there might be a lot of work to do because I'm not quite sure we have any space that meets the standards of a hospital inside any of our buildings. So just heads up with that.
A negative pressure room. I would love to have one at each one of the schools, but that would exponentially take our COVID money, and then lots more years of COVID money. Negative pressure rooms are very expensive.
Yeah.
So on the certainly, we've been talking about a sick kid room, and we do need to have some quarantining space. Which again, it's not going to be to that level with negative pressure. But my intention was for the testing on the initial level, just to be able to do it. They would either go to the physician's office, or if I did it, it would be like we've done in the community where it's, parking lot, and I'm housed out of the ticket booth. So, we're gonna keep everything, and I've worked IP and with the CDC, so we'll make sure that we follow the guidelines. But as we start to open, we're gonna need to get those testing out quick if we've got a positive case. So.
Yep. And even a room, if it has a functioning exhaust fan, that's enough to make it negative, as long as it's just constantly on, pulling from the adjacent spaces. So we could get creative. There's probably some spaces that not to take any room from Allendale, because I know they're limited on space there, but there's potentially probably rooms that are a little more updated in the Allendale building that have functioning exhaust fans, maybe, that, those spaces could be negative probably already, but the other buildings, I don't know that there's many rooms that have a negative pressure relationship to the corridors.
My concern was bringing people in. If we had a remote site, obviously parking lot, or if we did it, in the parking lot, but even coming into the building, is, brings its own challenges. So, it's going to happen, it can happen soon. They've given me privileges. I'm working through that this week, but I will definitely keep everyone updated. And it's just one more service for our staff to ensure their safety.
Mm-hmm.
And something that no other board, district will have, their own testing and their own lab at their disposal. So, that's kudos to our district.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Stephen.
Jim, one more question.
Mr. Barry, I believe you're muted, sir.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike. Thanks for that, Malik.
So will we still be required to transport special needs?
Yes, we will still have to transport the ones that are going outside the district, but many of them have, Beacon has already shut down. One of the schools in Wyandotte is shut down, but not the other. So yes, we will have to continue to meet their IEPs.
And sports runs?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
John,
so.
answer that one. Yep.
We don't have a huge schedule in December. We have nothing in November. It's a very mild schedule in December. There'd be a couple of runs. But excuse me.
Okay, Mike?
Yep. So apparently if we're going to be open to the teachers, all of our maintenance staff's going to be reporting?
Yes, if I have staff that comes in, if there's teachers that come in, maintenance staff has to report to each building. Day custodians have to come open up. And I mean, with the winter coming, if staff is going to come in for December, they're going to have to be there and salt the sidewalks, do some snow shoveling. If there is a limited staff for teachers, and we want to make sure there is a safe entrance to the building, if there is teachers coming in, we're going to check with each administrator to find out how many teachers are coming in, and we're going to come up with a system. And they have one at Allendale. If a teacher is using their classroom, they have this sign up front that that classroom was being utilized. So the custodian staff is going to do that. I'm going to spread them out and give them a more lenient schedule because I don't need all of them. Yes, we're going to do a rotation schedule, probably like the clerical staff does. They can come in 2 or 3 days a week and do the areas, but then it will only be like maybe 2 custodians or 3 coming in versus all 5 or 6. So we can do this on a rotated schedule. Work that can be done when the buildings are closed. We can notify, if there's teachers, we can let them know that at the high school specifically, there's certain classrooms that might need a little bit more attention that we can do right now. We can do some painting. We can actually strip floors now in some of those classrooms and do put some new wax on it while there's nobody in there. So we'll find some stuff to do while there's a limited amount of staff coming in. Yes. So do they have to come in? Yes, they do. Will it be on a rotation? Yes, they will. Busing the same way. Austin got a huge shipment of computers that came in, and I'm pretty sure he can use all the extra help he can get. So I will assign bus drivers to a rotation schedule that they might come in, 2 days a week or something like that, and sign up with Austin to help unpackage those computers, set that up. We also have boxes that we got that need to be sorted out with the clerical staff, so we can make adjustments for that. They can help the clerical staff box those up. We've been working in the high school on it. Some of the staff already has them boxed up. So we will find some work to do for them on a rotation schedule, Mike. So they don't have to come in every single day and all of them being at the same time.
Okay,
Oh,
Mike?
that makes sense. Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, obviously
Okay.
we have to have them there to clean rooms. It's just like you said, you may not need, all 5 or 6 maintenance people at the same time, but yeah.
Correct, and that's what we were looking at. So day custodians, I can do them on rotation also because they have backups. So we will rotate those people, but with the winter coming, we got to make sure our sidewalks are salted and stuff has been taken care of, unfortunately for us. So got to do that. Make sure everyone is safe.
Well, that being said, then obviously grounds would be working, right?
Grounds will be working on a rotation schedule too. Yes, I will do that also. But again, like it depends what kind of winter we're getting. What's the snow like? They might work every single day and they might be off a week. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it might be like last year. I have all my salt left over.
Well, then you don't need to buy any this year.
Right.
Bring it over us. Anything else, Mike?
No, I think that'll be it. Thank you.
Okay, I know we spent a lot of time on COVID, but it's important. Austin, did you have anything? Is Austin there?
No, absolutely. Sorry, I was muted. Takes me a second. I'm slow, Mr. Berry.
So am I.
As Elfie said, we got about 150 machines in last Friday. That's 150 out of the 680 that we currently have on order. We also have some bids out right now for copiers across the district and interactive boards across the district that we're waiting for numbers to come back on to see what we'll be able to do. And in since we've been going for quite a while, I'll keep it pretty short this evening. Are there any questions? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tim,
Go ahead.
Jackie's next.
Oh, Jackie? Where's Jackie? I
Yeah.
don't see no Jackie. Oh, there she is. Go ahead, Jackie.
Everybody. I just thank you. After that long discussion, I truly appreciate the safety, and the measures that everybody here has been taking to make sure everybody's safe. So I just think that the staff has been doing everything. I mean, I walk through the halls and I'm just in awe and so much respect is, I just think the parents, the students, everybody's been doing an amazing job. So I'll give you, the first part is the grant updates. We have submitted all of our state criteria for our district along with our fall count. Policies and procedures, as Rick was saying, are being updated to meet the law, the latest in the law for the legislation, what they're putting in place for us to make sure we have as evidence and proof. So I'm happy to say that so far, everything that they've needed, we've been able to provide. So thank God for that. Everybody in the district, I'm forever grateful to all of the information that they're providing. For the bilingual part of my position, we have about 3,000 students, and 74% are bilingual, where 57% of them, about 1,700 of our kids, are considered English learners. And those are the ones who are given the WIDA test. So I found out some data that's very interesting for most of you. And I think it'll pretty much, I mean, when you look at it, Wayne County RESA teachers, that whole area, there are 40% of the English learners compared to our 57 in our small district. And 20% of Wayne County RESA teachers have ESL certs. And already in Melvindale, we have 26%. And there are more going for it. So we are pretty much ahead of the game on that. So here to all of you again. Our EL coaches and I are providing professional development for the teachers and the staff, and our amazing, all of our coaches, they have coaching opportunities every single day. And I'm happy to say also, we have a new coaching handbook that's available also. This fall already, the EL coaches have already tested 220 new incoming students for the WIDA screener or the WAPT. And as you know, about 100 of our newcomers who have been in school less than a year were in the small group setting in the 4 buildings. And special thanks to our nurse and all of you for making sure that they had all the PPE necessary. So it's, thank you for that. If there's any questions, or if you ever want to go in depth on any of the grants or any of the bilingual information, please feel free to call me, and I am free for any questions. Have a great evening, and thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Anybody got any questions, Jackie? You're not, Dr. Serrano, you're up then.
All right, thank you. All right, so I want to welcome everyone. I want to congratulate the board members who are coming back, and our 2 new board members. Congratulations, welcome on board. As you all know, last week we lost one of our outstanding young men, one of our students. I can honestly say he was truly loved by everyone, the teachers, the students, the community. He was very spiritual, and he had God in his life. And you could experience the positive energy just being in the same room with him. He always had a smile on his face. It's very evident the care that went into him by his parents, his extended family, and he even spoke to that in a what is it called? No, he even spoke to that in one of the papers that he wrote for everyone to read, and he was truly a gift to everyone. So he'll be missed tremendously by everyone. I'm very proud of our district. We're doing a lot for the family. The funeral for Austin, the funeral home visitation is November 12th at Martinson's. And there was a beautiful memorial for him outside his home as well. That basically is it, but Carrie also has to do a presentation on the questionnaire we just had. So she's going to be part of mine. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll go on. We'll go on to Carrie and Swartz again, I guess, huh? Extended COVID learning attendance report. Carrie, you there?
I am. I'm just presenting my screen.
We
Hi,
thought we
everybody.
forgot about you, Carrie, didn't you?
Well, I was wondering, but that's fine.
Who's on the agenda? That's why.
Well, thank goodness for the agenda. Hi, everybody. I'm Carrie Gamaz, and as a district, we sent out a survey to the public to find out how they were feeling about the distance learning program and how they would feel should we return, and these are the results. I believe the results were sent to you. If you have had any problems viewing this, let me know, and I will make sure that you have access. First of all, this is the current student demographic makeup of people who responded. Nope, this is just our current student demographic, sorry. This was who responded in English, Spanish, and Arabic in terms of percentages. These are the grades that were represented. So we have 33% high school, 27% middle, 22% late elementary, and 14% early elementary. And then we did have some staff respond, and maybe some board members too got it. The first question was, how successful has distance remote or online learning been for you and your child? You can see that a majority of the responses were above 5. So on a 1 to 10, where 0 is not successful and 10 is very successful. Spanish respondents and then Arabic respondents. By the way, I think I put, these were 323 responses. So we did get most of our respondents to the English survey. And you can't really try to figure out how many, like what percentage of our population that is based on students, because we had the parents respond based on a family. So I was trying to estimate how many families we had in the district. And I think at one time I was thinking that it was around 1,000 to 1,200 families. So that's probably roughly around 20%, which would be considered a significant sampling. 45 responses for Spanish and 19 responses in Arabic. So in these other slides, you'll see that we have the English, then the Spanish, and the Arabic responses, same color scheme. So if you needed to compare. So how confident are you that you have the equipment and the know-how? Basically, we have approximately 90% of our population here answering that they are confident that they have the equipment and the know-how. In terms of barriers to learning, you can see that in our blue, our concerns or our barriers are going to be different than in our Spanish and Arabic populations. For example, materials not provided in the native language is going to be a concern for our English language learners. And that is also a bigger concern for the remote distance learning software, probably because of a language barrier. When you look at other situations, though, this is the biggest concern, which is my child is too young to participate in online learning while I'm at work, and we don't have reliable internet access. Those are the two biggest concerns that go across the board. How is the school doing making learning materials and instruction available while schools are closed? Excellent and good got the largest ratings across all 3 responses. How regularly have you been receiving academic and/or other resources from your child's school or school district? Once a day or more got the largest chunk. Let me hide this. Largest chunk of the responses. 3 times a week or more is high. Once or twice a week is also high. So looks like we're getting good communication. How we are communicating with our students. Seems like text message, which is the Remind service, and the Class Dojo falls underneath this category. Email is another large way that they're receiving information. There is some mail that's coming out, robocall, some robocalls are going on in the website. The level of stress as a parent is higher than usual. I think the level of stress in general in society is high. But there is a large number of people that say it's about the same. So I found that kind of surprising. The child's level of stress, there's a 15%, approximately 15 to 20% in each population that says it's much higher than usual. There is somewhat higher than usual in the red as well. If cases continue to rise in the area, our schools will be required to continue distance learning in order for everyone to stay safe. Would you support the decision? We've got strongly support the decision in blue, support the decision in red, oppose the decision, and strongly oppose the decision are the orange and green, and there's very little opposition to that decision. This was about coming back in a hybrid situation. What would the parents do? They would send their child to school. If we offer a virtual school, continue to do the virtual program, or I would find a different option if there was no virtual class offered. The largest concerns for their children being out of school due to the virus, the top 3 were highlighted. You can see that they're all really kind of close. I had to go out to a couple of decimals in the English to find out the difference between feeling bored and understimulated while at home and your child not having the structure they need while at home. And your child not being able to interact with teachers while they're at home. So there are some that are really close, but the top one here is not being able to interact with other students. Another one that was really high in the level of concern was ensuring the child does not fall behind academically. The next few slides highlights some successes with virtual learning. Notice that this is a link where you can see all of the responses. I did summarize these responses because there were several patterns that I could pick up on. There are fewer distractions. Parents said that the students are safe and like learning from home, that there are improved technology skills by students. Oops, I'm so sorry. I must have had my finger on that button. Improved achievements and grades, improved technology skills by students and parents, that their student had increased responsibility, more independence, more work being turned in, more engaged and interested in participating, better at managing their time and working at their own pace, and no peer pressure and bullying. And the most positive aspect of the remote learning program for you or your students, and once again, I summarized these: spending more time with family members, being more involved in the education, I think kind of went with that. Staying safe. There was lots of praise for our teachers. Just, I think some parents finally see the lens through the teacher's eyes, and saying that it was great communication, more communication maybe than even before distance learning started. Learning technology skills, having flexibility in their time schedule, and working at their own pace, responsibility, and independence. So once again, you can see all the responses if you'd like to read them all. I did not summarize the suggestions for improvement, and I'm not going to read all of them. I actually just copied and pasted them in here. And the reason I did that is because the suggestions, it's hard to summarize suggestions because they are sometimes very individual or distinct. or specific to a situation. So there are lots of different suggestions. Some things are, asking for more hands-on, making sure that you make an announcement through texts in addition to email, because some people rely more on text than they do on email. So just some suggestions: having a better mic for the teachers. Maybe there's a volume issue. Recording sessions. So there are a number of different suggestions that came through here. Being informed when there's no work turned in. So maybe better instruction on Parent Connect. So there are lots and lots of suggestions, as you can see. But I'm not going to read them all to you. So that's something that needs to, I think, as a next step, be shared with the teachers so that they can, use it in their professional learning groups to figure out what can be done to improve the online learning program, if anything. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
For the suggestions, is there a way to like track like through the survey what grade level, like what age group was making the different suggestions for the learning? I was reading through them all today, and there was like some people saying there was too much work, some people saying there was not enough work, and it was like, okay, all of a sudden there's a lot that are like too much work, too much work, too much work. Oh, my child's bored. Oh, too much work. So like if the oh, my child is bored is in a completely different building than the too much work, it just would be interesting to kind of see, like, are all the too much work suggestions coming from a certain grade level and the too little work coming from a different grade level? I didn't know if that was possible through the survey form to kind of track the suggestions to the grade level that participated in the survey.
If you'd like me to track that particular suggestion, I can probably track that and correlate it to a grade level and see if there is a correlation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can dig into that.
Yeah. I was just thinking if then it's reported back to that building, like, hey, our results of the survey are this percentage, and out of our building, here are the recommendations and suggestions that we're getting from our parents. And then, just
sure.
As I was going through them, that was one thing that popped in my head earlier.
Good idea.
Hey, does anybody else got any questions? Catherine, good job on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll continue on. Holly, did you have on this too? Did you have something to say? No?
Oh. No, I don't
Okay.
have any.
Okay. All right. Can we go back to the original screen?
I guess so.
You have to take your screen down. There we go. We're back. Okay. All right. Dr. Serrano, did you have anything else?
No, at this point I'm good. I had thought of something, but I don't remember now. I'll just have to interject when it comes along. Sorry.
Okay. We'll go to public forum. Matt, do we have anything, sir?
Yes, we do, Jim. So for the first question, comes in from, so sorry, I'm probably gonna butcher these names. So I'm gonna say that right now. I'm sorry. Arif Adnan. And the question is, which tech assistance and support is being provided for all the students? How are special education bilingual students being accommodated? And is there a tech phone line parents can call when they need support?
I think we answered a lot of those questions, but Dr. Serrano will get back to him or that person.
Well, so Austin would be the best person to answer the tech questions. And We, of course, meet all the criteria in the IEP for all of our students, and Dr. Lucido is diligent about that. If there are any questions, if somebody feels like their child's IEP is not being met, by all means, please contact us because, you know, we want to make sure that you're satisfied with what's happening, but we do everything we can and over and above in terms of the amount of time that we're giving our students.
Us, part of it?
Absolutely. With every device that went out, went paperwork that showed the different methods that we have available. But just to reiterate those so that we can get it out for everyone, on each school's website under the, let me pull up the website to make sure that I'm telling everybody exactly correctly. Under the Student Life tab at the top, there is a Technology Help Desk section. If we fill out the Technology Help Desk questionnaire, we have a team of staff members that check those daily and get back with parents and students. We also have a was a drive-in clinic until the weather started getting colder. It's now housed in the front foyer of the high school building. Every Tuesday and every Thursday that school is in session from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. and from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday that school is in session.
That's on our website too?
It is. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So Austin, with those two services of those dates, when the teachers are no longer reporting mandatory, will that still be going on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're still gonna have to be there. We've got a bunch of devices and stuff coming in. We're gonna be there. Absolutely.
Matt, do we have another one?
Yep, we have another one. This comes from Mohsin Awad. And the question is, in the last 5 to 6 years, Allendale has lost 25 teachers. Why wasn't the problem addressed after losing 5 to 6 teachers? It's evident there's a pattern here and it's not being addressed.
In fact, there's not a pattern. We look at the reason every teacher leaves. Many of them have left for more money because many of them came in at a time when we had a pay scale that was ABC, and they also had to get their bilingual degree. And many of them left. Many of them are leaving because they don't want to get the additional training to work with bilingual students. And in order to work in our district, you need to have that. We had some teachers that were old school that left at the beginning of the, like 5 years ago. And they didn't feel like they could keep up with the mandates and the expectations of what it means to be a teacher now. There were a lot of things that they had to do with the computer that came through RESA, like record keeping, and quite honestly, they were not up to, doing that. It was a lot. It's a lot to learn. The district has gone through a tremendous amount of training. That's school that a lot of students or teachers have left from did not keep up with the training as it was being offered. So they had a lot of upfront training that they had to do 5 years ago that the rest of the district had already jumped on board with. So those are some of the reasons. If you want to contact me personally or the building principal and ask her the questions, that's fine. But this board has been made aware of this right along. This isn't anything new. It's always been transparent. And, we don't negotiate with the community. We don't like to air our dirty laundry. That's basically, what has been happening.
And we replaced every one of those teachers too, right?
Right. And you know what? Quite honestly,
we got some good teachers. We got some good teachers, yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, Mr. Barry, you are on the board at RESA. They complain there that people are leaving. This is the first opportunity that teachers and support staff have ever had an opportunity to move. It has never been I think like 20 years before I became a teacher, people were getting contracts like 2 or 3 in 1 week. When I entered, you know, it was hard to get a job. This is the first opportunity that they've had to move around, and they're going to move. I, as a matter of fact, know that we're going to lose a support staff person. They're going to go to another district because they can give them more money. And I just heard of a teacher that's going to leave today. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's because of more money. No, it's because of being closer to home.
Okay,
And I
anything
know
else, Matt?
that person's happy with their job. I know they are because they're elated to find a job in, you know, technology where they've never had that before. So.
Anything else, Matt?
Yep. So there was one more, and it was from the Allendale Elementary staff, and their concerns have been addressed during this meeting. I can't go into questions about the individual questions that they had. There was 5 of them because it violates their contract negotiations. So the communication was addressed during tonight's board meeting. COVID procedures during tonight's board meeting was done, and we'll work through the correct channels with the union administration staff. There has been a discussion so far with them, and it's going to be shared soon. So that is as far as we're going to go with that question, and that ends tonight's public communication. Jim.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we go on to consent agenda. Do I have a motion consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Matt, do I have a support?
Support.
Support. Alex? Okay. Roll call vote.
Stephen Gunther,
Yes.
Jim Perry,
Yes.
Malik Safe.
I have a question about one of the items.
Okay, go ahead, Mel.
Go ahead.
Dr. Sarno, thanks for your reply to my email today. Just real
sure.
quick, for the Michelle Foster, can you tell me how many years she had over at Grosse Pointe?
Oh, Malik, she had like 3 months. She just started there.
It gives
Okay,
examples.
I'll-
Go ahead, Matt.
Yes, I was asking because the reason I was asking is because we're starting her at a step 7.5. So I'm trying to see how many years of experience she has.
It's not that she has a lot of years of experience. It's that that's what she was, I think, before when she came in. It's because of her credentials. I wish Ryan were here to speak to it because he knows.
Excuse me, Kim and Malik. I can give you a little bit. I don't have her resume in front of me or anything, but she has many years.
Okay.
I mean, she taught at Grosse before she came to us.
All right.
And
okay, so
and it
Grosse,
would've been-
Melvindale, then Grosse Pointe, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Yeah,
that.
it's more than 10 years of experience, much more than 10 years, but I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Trevor.
I thought she was really young. I'm sorry.
Well, it's nice that you want to come back to us.
Yeah,
She wanted to hear
I
your voice,
agree.
Jim.
What's that? Oh,
So she wanted to hear your voice.
yeah. Okay. Oh, she's lucky, I'm Malik.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, roll call vote then.
So Malik, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky,
Yes.
Amber Cochran,
Yes.
Mike Colmorgan.
Yes.
We have a quorum. Doris, you're lucky. That's all I gotta say. We love you.
Yeah, we should have took that one off the agenda.
Oh, she knows.
Thank you,
She knows.
everybody.
Jim, I think Karen Mason is on too, and we just hired
Oh, yeah.
her. So
Karen, are
welcome,
you-
Karen.
Karen, are you on somewhere? Karen, I don't think she's on.
I'm here.
Yes.
Hi,
Oh.
Karen.
Hi. I'm here.
Would you like to
Welcome,
say
Karen.
anything, Karen?
Pardon me?
Would you like to say anything?
Well, I'm ecstatic to be coming back. I left about 6 months ago and I never kind of left communication with you guys. And by leaving, I found out where my heart really was. And I'm coming back to Melvindale to fulfill the rest of my career, and I can't wait. And I love Jackie's clapping. So I'm real excited. I'll be starting back on Monday. So we'll
Okay.
see whatever kind of schedule Mike puts me under, but I'm going to be doing the payroll and the benefits. So I hope to get to know all of you pretty soon.
Real
Because when
good.
I was doing AP, I kind of didn't, I did a lot of checks, but I didn't get to know everybody. So
Well, she kept
glad
over
you're
Melvin.
coming back, John.
She kept over Melvindale sweaters and that, right?
I've got them all. Yep. In
Real
fact,
good.
John, I have to tell you, oh gosh, what's his name? The Dearborn Heights athletic director emailed me today to say goodbye, and he said John was lucky to get me back.
There you go.
And this is my granddaughter, Tiffany. Everybody gets to know Tiffany. She's waving to you guys.
All right,
Okay.
Karen,
Go to bed
Karen,
now.
welcome back. I know, welcome back. It's going to be a great thing for us, especially for Mike too. Be a good team. Get some things
Yeah, I'm
going there.
excited.
Okay. So I don't have any old business. New business. What is the new business here? Okay, approved school of choice section 105 open enrollment program for non-residents students for the second semester of 2020-2021. Do I have a motion? That's just a procedure we do every time.
I'll make
Do
the
I have a
motion.
Do I have a support?
Support.
Mike, okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Stephen Gunther,
Yeah.
Jim Barry,
Yes.
Malik Safe,
Yes.
Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky,
Yes.
Amber Cochran,
Yes.
Mike Cole Morgan.
Yes.
It passes, Jim.
Thank you, everybody. We'll go to B, approve COVID-19 return to F2F learning delay until revisit. We just discussed that a little while ago. Do I have a motion to accept that?
Make the motion.
Mike, do I have a support?
I'll support.
Amber? Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? We had a lot of discussion on it.
Yeah,
Hearing
through the chair.
none,
Through,
Yeah,
through
go
the
ahead.
chair. Kim,
Go
Kim,
ahead,
is there anything different on this? F2F learning delayed. That there's not. This is exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the meeting, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yep. Okay.
That's the report she has to have in by December
Yeah.
6th.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Matt.
Stephen Gunther,
Yeah.
Jim Barry,
Yes.
Malik Safe,
Yes.
Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky,
Yes.
Amber Cochran,
Yes.
Mike Cole Morgan.
Yes.
All right, it passes, Jim.
Okay. The next one would be D, right?
No,
Approve
C.
C, I think we cut that, didn't it? Delete
Yeah.
letters.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that one. So then go to D.
Okay, D, approve return to building and the reopening plan memorandum of understanding between the Teamsters Local 214 non-teaching unit and a district. Do I have a motion?
So,
Do I have a motion?
Go ahead, Kim.
So we can discuss.
No.
So we gotta have a motion before we can discuss it.
Make the motion.
All right, do I have a support?
Support.
All right, go ahead, Kim.
so this is this exact same MOU that you approved for the teaching staff and the parapros. Theirs is just a little later getting in because we couldn't touch base with Kevin and the field rep with the Teamsters, but it's just a technicality. We've complied with everything that we said we would, and as far as safety and health. And I think that as a district, we're going above and beyond any MOU or anything else anybody else is doing in the area.
Okay. I have a motion and support. Any further discussion?
No, Jim. All right, roll
Matt,
call.
are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me? All right, Stephen Gunther.
Yeah, roll call. Yep.
Jim Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that was a yes for Jim Barry. Malik Safe.
Yes.
Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky.
Yes.
Amber Cochran.
Yes.
Mike Colmorgan.
Yes.
All right, it passes.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we
You're
go
welcome.
to E. Approved front end bus replacement in amount of $15,450. I need a motion.
I'll make motion.
I'll make that motion.
Steve made the motion. Alex seconded it.
Yep.
Alfie, do you want to discuss this?
We just did. That's the one for the heating and cooling.
Oh, why does it say bus replacement?
Because that's what the thing is called. It's a front end bus replacement. That's what the electrical, the heating and cooling unit is called. Jim, you've been out of the business too long.
Oh, a new bus.
Not a bus.
All right. Everybody
I
understand?
thought it was a bus too. I'm sorry.
Everybody
I
follow
thought
the
it was
bus,
a
raise their
bus.
hand.
No.
All right, we had a motion and support. Roll call that.
All right, Stephen Gunther.
Yeah.
Jim Barry.
Yes.
Malik Safe.
Yes.
Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky.
Yes.
Amber Cochran.
Yes.
Mike Colmorgan.
Yes.
It passes, Elfie.
Thank you. Okay, other business, award tenure to Jennifer Gardner, Melville High School. Do I have a motion to award tenure?
So moved.
Do I have a support?
I'll support.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Stephen Gunther.
Yeah.
Jim Barry.
Yes.
Malik Safe.
Yes.
Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky.
Yes.
Amber Cochran.
Yes.
Mike Colmorgan.
Yes.
It passes.
Thank you, sir, again. Okay, we go to board discussion. Who wants to go first? Amber?
Well, I mean, I know we say it every month, but I think every month we get more and more challenging. So I continue to thank everyone, the staff, every worker that ever is working for MelNAP. You guys are doing an outstanding job. Food distribution still on point. I appreciate that so much. It's the kids never stop eating. And I just can't thank enough how we're putting the safety first for our families and our friends and our employees. So just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Steve, you want to go? Stephen?
Sure. I mean, echoing what Amber said, thanks again for everybody for all the hard work you guys have put in this year to make sure that all of our kids can still remain successful in this virtual environment. I have a couple other comments. One thing, I know that if I go into the office where I work, or even if I go out onto a job site, different contractors have different requirements for being on the job site. But one of the things that's consistent across everyone is a COVID screening form prior to entering the building. So I don't know if we have that we make sure everybody does already. Okay. Looks like there's lots of head shaking. So yes. Okay. I just think that does a great job for contact tracing to know exactly who was in the building on what days and who they've come in contact with and everything else. And then just another thing I've been thinking of throughout the meeting, I just want to thank all administrators for being available when we as a board member have questions. I think that's great. I've never come across, my tenure on the board is unfortunately ending next month, but I've never had it arise for when I had to have other people post questions for me that I've been trying to get. The administration across the board at every building is very open and will answer any questions that us board members have. And I just think you guys do a great job of keeping the board members up to date and informed on anything that we need to keep our eyes on through the operation of the district. So that's everything I have. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Stephen. We're going to miss you.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yep.
I'm going to miss you guys
Malik?
too.
Malik?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay and staying safe in these difficult times. I just want to basically, as an educator, let everyone know that's kind of listening and joining us today for the board meeting, like how much we appreciate the teachers, all of our staff, from the top to the bottom, for all that they do, because being a teacher at this point in time is very difficult. Virtual learning is not something that's simple, especially when you have students that are struggling, students that are below grade level, and then you have some students that are above grade level. So finding a way to connect to all these different students is extremely difficult. So I really want to thank them, and from the bottom of my heart, and I hope they continue the good fight. I'm glad the teachers will have the option. Some of the teachers will have the option not to come in during the holiday break, because like we all talked about, it's kind of dangerous for people to be gathering with family, then coming back on December 14, and then going back out on December 20 for Christmas break. So that's, I think, in the best interest of the students and also the staff. And I'm glad that all the staff is starting to feel comfortable with the virtual learning, even though it is still kind of difficult and choppy, and there's lagging happening with technology, because it happens to myself as well when I'm trying to meet with my kids. And as always, we always enjoy the comments and hearing the good stuff that's happening in the district from everyone. I appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a good night.
Thanks, Malik. Mike?
Good evening. Yeah, I got a couple things. I'm going to start by saying I think there was an email that went out to the board. I know one of our teachers had been a part of that, applying for unemployment or underemployment, whatever it's called. And I know that she truly didn't mean to do anything. I don't even know what the word was that they used. Falsified somehow. And she asked that her explanation letter be put in her record. And I would ask the board that we would just allow her to do that. What else was I going to say? We probably have to add it to our next board meeting agenda. But talking to some of the other board members, I'm thinking that I think what we need to maybe add into our CO department as an HR director. I don't know how much it'll help, but I think it's important to have somebody to go to that everybody would feel comfortable talking to about certain issues. And everywhere I've ever worked, the bigger companies always had an HR director. And as a school, I think, with all the employees that we have on staff, it would be a very nice thing to have in our CO that everybody could report to and get the answers that they're looking for. So I'm just throwing that out there today. I think that would be a wise decision for us as a board to agree upon. But like I said, we'll probably have to add that to the next agenda for the next board meeting.
Yep, we can do that, Mike.
Yeah. I just think with as many people as we have on staff, I think it would be important. Somebody who, it was always somebody that, I could always go to for insurance questions and things like that. Even today, when I go to City Hall, I got to talk to somebody who's in charge of basically the HR department, which is not his title, but that's what he does. He operates in that capacity. And I think that's Amber's in HR. She probably would agree with me.
I can't agree more. I think it's great to have someone there that, can ensure consistent application of our policies and also be that go-to for any concerns and as well as any policy questions or even insurance questions. I applaud it. I applaud you, Mike. I embrace that.
Well,
Yeah, I think it would
Karen's
help
going to do the
also with,
benefits, right?
Jim, I think it also helped just making sure that, we have the best system in place just because it's, HR representative, that's what they do. That's their specialty. So it'll give us a better system that we can use and it'll be transparent and everybody will be happy with it. So I think that's an awesome idea. Thanks, Mike, for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed it before, but it sort of got tabled. So that's something we can look at when negotiations coming up and so forth. Because that's what an HR person does, get involved in negotiations. So that's important too.
Yeah.
Right,
absolutely.
Amber? Oh, you don't get a negotiation, you're not union, but usually most places HR are part of the negotiations.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. If there's a union, the
Because
HR is involved. Yep.
Mike, I was city administrator, you know how that works.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
So, all right, real good. Anything else, Mike? That's something to discuss. Absolutely.
Just going back to that, my last point was I want to make sure that teacher was able to get that letter at her record. I know that we had some teachers and staff that applied for unemployment that probably didn't deserve it or they weren't sure, and some of them had gotten some time off and stuff. And one of the things that I thought about was, when we look at some of these, I don't think we can blanket them with a discipline. I think they needed to be looked at a case-by-case basis. A lot of these employees, a few that I know for sure, didn't do anything malicious. They were losing summer hours and felt that they were entitled to the underemployment. So I understand where they were coming from. I don't believe they did anything maliciously or fraudulently on purpose. So like I said, I think we should look at that as a case-by-case basis and not just a blanket discipline across the board. So
anything else, sir?
That being said, I think everybody's doing a great job. Just to be clear too, we've made a decision to stay out till the first of the year.
I think we just did on a motion here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, we're going to revisit it end of November, that we're going to stay out till, okay.
Yep.
After Christmas break, so we're done until then. Okay.
It's my understanding that teachers are still going to school. We just discussed that, So, okay, anything else, Mike?
Nope. Like I said, I support that fully. The online learning, according to our little Catherine's report there, said that everybody seems to be doing pretty well with it. The majority of the students and the families are doing well with it. Obviously, there's a couple little quirks we need to work out, but with it working as well as it is, then we need to be as safe as possible. I think that's a great idea. So everybody keep up the good work. I know it's not easy, but I really appreciate, the board appreciates everything you guys do, the whole staff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Alex?
Yep. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for all of their service through all of these unprecedented weeks that we've been going through and those yet to come. I don't have anything else to say this evening, so I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you in December.
Okay, Matt? Thank you, Alex.
Yes, I want to first say thanks to the parents who did the survey, because as the board and the administration team, we look at the survey results and what they put in there to make up our decisions that we're looking for. And also for the parents who may have not done it, when there's another one that comes out, please fill out those surveys, because that's how we're making decisions for not only as for the teachers and the staff and administration, but also for the community as a whole. Because this affects everyone's children. And it's a gathering of decisions and choices that we're going to make for the whole. I think as a board, we want everyone to be safe 100% for the students and the staff, to provide the best education that we can in a safe manner. But it takes everyone's input and opinions to do that. So please, on the next ones, to fill them out if you haven't already. And I want to reiterate that, if there's IT help that's needed at the parents, please use the IT channel on the school's website to get help. So that way your child can get the needs and supports that child needs. And also I want to say thank you to the administration, the teacher staff for all the hard work that they're doing during this time that we're having. I know everyone's going over and beyond of their daily activities as if they were in the school. Also to Alfie staff for picking up, strenuous, activities that they may not be normally doing in this school year. So thank you for all their staff for all their hard work. I know when we come back, we're going to have these sparkling, clean, shiny floors and walls because of all their effort. And I want to say congratulations and welcome to the new 2 employees that we hired today. So welcome to the school district, and everyone have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one. And please be safe, be smart about it, and keep it very small into your own households. So thank you and have a great holiday season.
You done, Matt?
I'm done.
Okay. All right. I just want to say I want to thank everybody, especially the board, for making some of these hard decisions. I know it's not easy. We had many discussions with Holly and Kim and some of our leaders in our school districts. It's hard to make decisions, as you see by the survey. Survey gives us a little idea of what the parents are thinking as well. So I think that we're doing really good, like Holly said. And I know through research, there's a lot of school districts that don't have the support that we have, especially if we have our nurse. That was a good decision you guys made, or we made as a group, because that took a lot of pressure off of our administration as well. And she's doing a great job. I just want to say, yes, I want to look at that HR position. I talked about it before. We never went anywhere with it, but maybe it's time to look at it and see if it fits into our budget. And so, speaking of that, Alex, we have a budget meeting. We get up.
Yep.
And,
No, I agree. I reached out to Doris to have her send out a note and see when everybody can meet, and we will get that on the calendar.
Sounds good, my friend. Again, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Stay safe. I know it's going to be hard. They say the gathering of your relatives and friends, but mostly relatives. But have a safe Thanksgiving, and thank you, everybody. See you in December. That's it. Good night.
You too, Jim. Have a good day.
Good night. Thank you.
I have a motion.
Have a good night, everyone.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Good night, everyone.
Mike made a motion. Amber supported it. Okay, roll call.
I support it with Amber.
Stephen Gunther.
Everybody turn their mics off already.
Jim Barry. Jim Barry, say yes.
I can't hear anybody.
Jim Barry.
Just raise your phone.
Okay. Matt Rader, yes. Alex Antosky.
Yes.
Amber Cochran.
Yes.
Mike Paul Morgan.
Yes.
All right, we have a
Okay,
quorum. You
everybody
guys
have a good
wonderful
evening. See you
night.
later. Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving all. Thank you.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.